Aladdin and the Genie's New Adventure. Soft magical music playing. Welcome to Magic Tales, where stories come alive. If you love adventures, magic, and happily ever afters, you're in the right place. Don't forget to share, and subscribe so you never miss a new tale. Now, snuggle up, get comfy, and let's dive into today's magical story. Chapter 1: The Mysterious Letter. The sun was setting as Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, and their magical friend, the Genie, soared across the endless skies on their loyal flying carpet. The clouds glowed pink and gold, and the desert below looked like a golden ocean. But something was troubling the Genie. His once bright blue glow had grown faint, and his swirling tail of smoke had turned a dull gray. "Oh, my friends," he said, his voice soft, "I fear my powers are slipping away. I must find a way to regain my strength before it's too late." Just then, a shadow zipped across the sky, a stork flying faster than the wind, a sealed envelope clutched tightly in its beak. "Look," Jasmine gasped. "It's carrying a letter." The stork swooped down, dropped the envelope into Jasmine's hands, and disappeared into the clouds. She carefully opened the letter and read it. Her face turned pale. No, this can't be." "What is it, my princess?" Aladdin asked, worry etched on his face. Jasmine's hands trembled as she spoke. "It's from Aaron, the evil desert witch. He's free from the spell, and he's coming for us." The Genie's eyes widened. "That can't be. I locked him away myself." Jasmine crushed the letter in her hand and threw it to the wind. "He swears that when he finds us, he'll cast a curse so powerful that we'll never break free." Far away, deep in his lonely sand shelter, Aaron stirred a bubbling cauldron filled with strange glowing liquids. His sharp, crooked smile twisted as he poured potion after potion, whispering, "You trapped me once, but this time, I'll make you wish you'd never been born." Chapter 2: The River of Secrets. By nightfall, the trio finally reached a quiet riverside deep in the desert. Two tall, ancient stone pillars rose from the water like guards standing at attention. The Genie's dim eyes sparkled with hope. "Those pillars. Yes, inside them are diamonds. If I can swallow those diamonds, my strength will return." Aladdin grinned. "Then let's get them." While they planned, Jasmine knelt by the river, cupping water in her hands to drink. But the moment the water touched her lips, her smile faded. "Wobble. What is this? It tastes rotten." Moments later, she clutched her stomach in pain. "Oh, I don't feel well." She sat down, pale and weak. Aladdin's sharp eyes scanned the riverside. The flowers nearby were pale and drooping, and the air smelled sour. Something was terribly wrong. Suddenly, the water stopped flowing. The air grew still. Then, with a deep rumble, the two towering pillars began to shake. "Aladdin!" The Genie shouted, panic flashing across his face. "Before the river dries up completely, we need those diamonds now." Without hesitation, Aladdin leapt onto the carpet, soared across the river, and landed beside the nearest pillar. From his pocket, he pulled a sharp stone and began striking the pillar with all his strength. Clang, 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 but nothing happened. Not even a crack. I can't break it," he shouted, sweat dripping down his brow. Dark clouds swirled overhead, lightning split the sky, and the air grew heavy with danger. Chapter 3: The River Dragon. With a thunderous splash, the water erupted. From the depths rose a monstrous river dragon, its scales shimmering green and gold, its fins wide as sails, its eyes glowing like emerald fire. Jasmine gasped and froze. Even the brave carpet trembled under Aladdin's feet. But Aladdin didn't stop. He kept pounding the pillar, desperate to break it. The Genie screamed from the shore, "Aladdin, come back. It's too dangerous." The dragon roared and lunged, its enormous claws wrapping around Aladdin's leg. It yanked him into the air and swung him like a doll. "Let me go." Aladdin cried, kicking and twisting. The carpet swooped up, rolling and diving, trying to save him, but the dragon's grip was too strong. "Genie!" Jasmine cried, her eyes wide with fear. "Please help him." The genie clenched his fists as summoning what little power he had left. Golden sparks crackled in his hands as he floated up into the stormy sky. Then, with a mighty burst of light, he sent a dazzling beam of yellow magic straight into the dragon's eyes. Blinded, the dragon roared and flung Aladdin away. Thankfully, the quick-thinking carpet zoomed forward and caught him midair. "Got you." The carpet seemed to hum, zipping back to safety, but the dragon wasn't finished. Furious, it spun and lunged at the genie, wrapping its claws around him and lifting him high above the water. Meanwhile, Aladdin landed back on the pillar, his muscles aching, his heart pounding. This time, with one final strike, the stone cracked open, revealing a small handful of shining diamonds inside. He grabbed them, stuffing the gems into his pockets as the dragon squeezed the struggling genie tighter and tighter. Chapter 4. The Genie's Return from the Riverside. Jasmine spotted something strange, a red jewel glimmering at the tip of the dragon's long tail. "If I can get that jewel," she whispered, maybe I can stop it. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't reach. "Genie, hold on," Aladdin shouted. Then, with all his strength, he hurled the diamonds toward his captured friend. "Catch." The genie snatched them midair and swallowed the glowing gems. In an instant, his faded blue color flared back to life, brighter and bolder than ever. His body pulsed with strength, his eyes lit up with power. "You picked the wrong day to mess with us, dragon," he boomed. With a swirl of his hands, the genie cast a powerful spell. Mysterious words filled the air as golden light spiraled around the dragon. "Shrink, beast of the river, shrink!" Before their eyes, the massive dragon shrank smaller and smaller until it was no bigger than a frightened baby lizard, paddling clumsily in the shallows. Jasmine jumped forward and scooped the glowing red jewel from the water. "We did it!" she cried. "The dragon's curse is broken." The two towering pillars cracked and crumbled, their magic finally spent. The river flowed once more, clean and fresh. The genie floated down, smiling wider than ever. "Thank you, my friends. You saved me. And look," he flexed his shimmering arms, "I'm even stronger than before." Chapter 5. A quiet return. The three friends climbed back onto their flying carpet, hearts light with victory. As they soared through the skies toward the palace, Aladdin turned to the genie. "Come home with us," he said warmly. "Stay in the palace as our friend, not as our servant, but as family." The genie's eyes glistened. "I'd like that. More than anything." He smiled, then slowly drifted back into his golden lamp. "May our friendship never end," Jasmine whispered, hugging the lamp close. The flying carpet zipped through the clouds, heading home, but when they arrived, the palace was strangely quiet. No laughter, no music, not even the soft chirping of Jasmine's pet hummingbird, Wren. "Hello," Jasmine called. "Servants? Where is everyone?" Her voice echoed in the empty halls. Then she froze. "Wren. Where's my little Wren?" Aladdin searched every room, every corner. Nothing. Everyone, every servant, every guard had vanished. And Wren, her beloved bird, was gone too. "Genie!" Jasmine called, panic rising in her voice. "Something terrible has happened." Far away, deep in his lair, the evil Aaron smirked, watching the scene through the smoke of his crystal ball. "Yes, panic," he hissed. "You think you've won, but you've only made me stronger. Now you'll see what real magic looks like." Chapter 6. The Broken Lamp. The next morning, the palace kitchen was filled with the warm smell of fresh bread. Jasmine hummed softly as she prepared baskets of food and grain to give to the poor. But as she gathered the baskets, something shiny caught her eye. Aladdin's golden magic lamp lay shattered on the marble floor, its pieces scattered like broken glass. No, Jasmine gasped, rushing over. No, no. She rubbed the cracked lamp, whispering desperately, Genie, Genie, are you there? Please answer me. But no magic smoke swirled, no cheerful voice boomed. The lamp was empty. Tears filled her eyes as she ran to find Aladdin. Aladdin, she cried. The lamp, it's broken. The genie is gone. Aladdin held the pieces in trembling hands, disbelief clouding his face. This is bad. If someone finds him before we do, someone cruel. His voice hardened with determination. I have to find him, Jasmine, before it's too late. While Aladdin raced into the city, Jasmine stayed behind. She gathered every piece of gold she could find, bracelets, earrings, even the palace's golden candlesticks. Carefully, she melted them down in the fire and poured the liquid gold over the lamp's cracks, sealing them shut. The lamp gleamed bright and whole again, but still, the genie did not return. Chapter 7. The evil plan far beyond the palace, in a cave surrounded by jagged black rocks. Aaron the desert witch laughed as he stared into his glowing crystal ball. Perfect, he hissed. The genie is trapped between worlds, weak and helpless. And soon the princess will be mine. From the shadows stepped Jabbar, a tall man with sharp features and a crooked grin. His voice slithered like a snake. You have the magic, Jabbar said smoothly, and I have the access to the palace. Together we will take everything her, the throne, the treasure, all of it. Aaron's eyes glowed green. Then let us begin. Chapter 8. The Trap. Back at the palace, Jasmine stood in the courtyard, the repaired lamp clutched tightly in her hands. She whispered softly, Genie, please come back to us. We need you. Suddenly, a familiar voice called from the gates. Princess Jasmine, it's me, Jabbar. I bring news of Aladdin. Jasmine hurried forward, her heart racing. Where is he? Is he safe? Jabbar smiled, but his eyes glittered with something dark. He's waiting for you in the old market square. Come with me quickly. Without thinking, Jasmine followed, clutching the lamp close to her chest. She didn't see the strange green mist swirling faintly around Jabbar's boots, nor the sly smirk that curled across his lips. As they reached the deserted market, a cold wind swept through the empty stalls. The sky dimmed, and the air turned heavy with magic. Where is Aladdin? Jasmine whispered, her voice trembling. Jabbar turned, his grin wicked and sharp. Oh, my dear princess, Aladdin isn't coming. But Aaron is. Before she could scream, a swirling vortex of green light burst open behind her, sucking her in like a tornado. She clutched the lamp, but it was no use. Aladdin, she cried, her voice echoing through the swirling magic as everything went black. Chapter 9. Aladdin's Race. Meanwhile, in the bustling streets of Agrabah, Aladdin sprinted from alley to alley, searching every shop, every stall. Has anyone seen the princess? He shouted. Please, tell me you've seen her. But nobody had. The city was silent, almost as if it were holding its breath. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw something glinting in the sand near the palace gates, a thin strand of Jasmine's golden scarf. His heart pounded. No, Jasmine. He grabbed the scarf, whispering, I'll find you. I promise. He rushed back to the repaired lamp and rubbed it as hard as he could. Genie, I don't care where you are, come back. She needs you. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. Then a faint whisper filled the room. Aladdin? It was the genie, weak, distant, but there. I'm trapped in the other realm. Follow the trail of the desert star. But hurry, Aaron's power grows with every passing moment. Aladdin clenched his fists. Hold on, my friend. And Jasmine, I'm coming for you both. Chapter 10. The Desert Star that night. Under a sky full of glittering stars, Aladdin rode the flying carpet deep into the desert. He followed the brightest star, shining like a diamond above the dunes. The winds howled, and the sand shifted like waves, but Aladdin didn't stop. Finally, he reached a strange, glowing circle carved into the sand, marked with ancient runes. In the center stood a stone archway, swirling with green and gold light, the portal to Aaron's realm. Aladdin took a deep breath, tightened his grip on the lamp, and stepped through. Instantly, the world twisted around him. The sky turned purple, the ground shimmered like glass, and eerie whispers floated through the air. Somewhere in the distance, Jasmine's voice called out, faint and scared. "Aladdin, help me," he set his jaw. "Hold on, Jasmine. I'm coming." Chapter 11. The Prison of Shadows. The portal closed behind Aladdin with a loud whoosh. The realm around him was twisted, dark skies cracked with green lightning, black sand dunes stretching endlessly, and strange shadowy creatures lurking in the distance. But his focus was clear. "Jasmine," he whispered. "I'm coming." Following the faint echo of her voice, Aladdin ran until he reached a tall obsidian tower, glowing faintly at its peak. Chains of green energy coiled around it like snakes, pulsing with dark magic. Inside, Jasmine hung suspended in the air, trapped in a sphere of swirling green mist. Her eyes fluttered open when she sensed him. "Aladdin, you came." But before he could reach her, a mocking voice filled the chamber. "Well, well," Aaron sneered, stepping from the shadows. His staff glowed with poisonous light. "The little street rat thinks he can defeat me?" Jabbar emerged beside him, his cruel grin wider than ever. "She's ours now, boy. And with the genie trapped, you are powerless." Aladdin tightened his grip on the repaired lamp. "Maybe, but I don't give up on the people I love." Chapter 12. The genie's return. He rubbed the lamp one last time, harder than ever. "Genie, come on, buddy. I need you." The lamp cracked with golden light. A familiar booming voice filled the chamber. Did someone call for fabulous magical backup? With a flash, the genie burst free, brighter and more powerful than before. His energy blasted Aaron and Jabbar back as his deep voice rang out, "Nobody messes with my friends." He snapped his fingers, and the chains holding Jasmine shattered, sending her gently into Aladdin's arms. "You're safe now," Aladdin whispered. But Aaron snarled, his eyes glowing with fury. "No one escapes me." Chapter 13. The Final Battle. The tower shook as Aaron unleashed wave after wave of magic. Green fireballs roared through the air, but the genie shielded Aladdin and Jasmine. "Carpet." The genie shouted, summoning their loyal flying rug. "Take them to safety." But Aladdin refused to leave. "No, this ends now." With the genie's help, he dodged Aaron's spells and lunged toward the glowing crystal at the top of Arna's staff, the source of his power. "Jasmine," he called, "shoot the jewel." Using her quick thinking, Jasmine grabbed a fallen bow from the ground and loosed an arrow straight at the crystal. The jewel shattered in a blinding flash, and Aaron let out a scream that echoed through the realm as his magic collapsed. Jabbar tried to flee, but the carpet swooped down and tied him up with its tassels. Leaving him dangling like a trussed chicken, the dark realm began to crumble around them. "Time to go." The genie yelled, grabbing them all. With one mighty burst of magic, they were flung through the collapsing portal, tumbling back into the warm desert night. Chapter 14. A New Dawn. As the sun rose over Agrabah, peace finally returned. The people cheered as Aladdin and Jasmine rode through the streets on the flying carpet, the genie waving dramatically beside them. At the palace, the genie smiled warmly at his friends. "You know, for someone who calls himself a street rat, you've got the heart of a hero, Al," Aladdin laughed. "And you're more than a genie, you're family." Jasmine stepped forward, holding the lamp. "You're free now," she said. "No one will ever trap you again." The genie's eyes shimmered. I'll still stick around, of course. Somebody's got to keep you two out of trouble. Everyone laughed as fireworks burst in the sky, signaling a new era of peace, friendship, and adventure. Epilogue. A promise that evening, as the stars glittered overhead. Jasmine whispered to Aladdin, no matter what happens, no matter what dangers come, we'll always face them together. Aladdin smiled, taking her hand. Together, always. And high above, the genie lounged on a cloud, grinning. Best ending ever.